Don't ever, ever give up, but always surrender. I want to talk to you about the spiritual practice of surrender, my take on it anyway. I believe that surrender is the ultimate practice of acceptance. And for such a time as this, we need all of our spiritual tools to navigate what is to the possibility of what can be. So thanks for joining me. Claim this space for you, this time for you. And may something I say really land in your heart, inspire you, give you the sense that you're not alone in this crazy time we're living through as souls having a human experience. So I want to start, because I think this sets up my talk today, a quote by Eckhart Tolle. I think he captures exactly how I feel about surrender, the practice of surrender. And I want to talk to you about how I use it in my daily practice. It is a daily practice for me, and I'll get into that a little bit more. But listen to this. The wisdom of surrender is the quality of your consciousness at the moment that is the main determinant of what kind of future you will experience. So to surrender is the most important thing you can do to bring about positive change. Any action you take is secondary. No truly positive action can arise out of an unsurrendered state of consciousness. To some people, surrender may have a negative connotation, implying defeat, giving up, failing to rise to the challenges of life, becoming lethargic, and so on. Anybody feel any of that right now? I should have just read that part. But this is why I wanted to read this quote. Some people have a negative association with the word surrender. And he goes on to say, true surrender, however, is something entirely different. It does not mean to passively put up with whatever situation you find yourself in and do nothing about it. I want to read that again. I'm talking about, and from the microcosm of your world, your current inner world, to the macrocosm of what we are collectively experiencing. So I'm going to read this again. It does not mean to passively put up with whatever situation you find yourself in and do nothing about it. Nor does it mean to cease making plans or initiating positive action. Surrender is the simple but profound wisdom of yielding to rather than opposing the flow of life. Perfect quote for Pisces season 2. The only place where you can experience the flow of life is the now. So, to surrender is to accept the present moment unconditionally and without reservation. So, that's a lot. I could have chunked that down, but what did you feel listening to that quote? What were you called to? Now, for me, I think surrender is the number one go-to tool that we all need to be using. Like I said, I use it on a daily practice. I use it mostly when I feel so stuck. I cannot sense what's next. I know something new is wanting to emerge through me. So it's almost a daily prayer now, if not 3 or 4 times a day. I say, I surrender all, show me the way. So for me, and whatever your spiritual journey is about, this is a personal thing. I believe there are many paths to God. I call myself a progressive Christian on most days, because that's what I was called back to from being a Catholic, raised Catholic, studying Taoism and Buddhism, and then studying with Reverend Michael Beckwith for trans-denominational exploration. I was called back through dreams. Yes, through dreams to read the Bible. I was called back to that path. And so I honor that, because I think there's something rich with every path. And to honor where your soul is calling you. That's just something there. So surrender, where was I going with all that? From a spiritual lens, is inviting in God, creator, your higher self, soul, however you think about it, the universe, whatever terminology feels like it works with your, it feels like, yeah, that's my truth, right? And I believe no one can know your truth, only you, only you. So for me though, it is an invitation. I'm feeling alone in this. I don't know how to navigate what is. Show me the way. So it's partnering with God, it's partnering with the divine. And this time that we are in, especially in the United States, and this has been tricky for me because I think of myself as somebody who is called to, especially with this channel and with my clients and with the work I do, to I used to say my role is to lift and support people, and then every time I said that I was like, Victoria, you're not a bra. And so I have to change that too. My sole mission is to inspire, to encourage, to remind people they're not alone on their journeys, and that, as trite as it is now, we are all in this together. And so I guess I call myself a soul guide, the soul nurturer. I help people nurture their soul potential, reclaim it, but really it's guidance, walking alongside with people. And so, what I offer is just from my, very long years, like 25 plus years of being a transformational hypnotherapist and supporting people, but mostly, honestly, it's from my human experience. It's from my lived experience, where I call it, when we're in our human experience, we're doing research. We're doing research, learning what works, what doesn't work. We are learning to navigate with what is, but this is where we must remember to call in our soul wisdom. That both and souls having a human experience. Sometimes we can get too mired in the human experience, especially times like this. So what I was saying is I've felt sort of conflicted. I don't want to be political here, but I also don't want to be inauthentic. And for me, coming on here and just being like, yeah, here's what we're doing, and I that's not my truth. My truth is I'm in all the birthquakes with all of you. I am witnessing as an empath what's happening in our country, in America, and I'm sure wherever you are, because we have Pluto in Aquarius right now, there's a lot of birthquaking, rumbles of transformation. We are in a time of rebirthing ourselves individually and rebirthing the collective and all things, right? So I want you to know I'm with you. And this is where I want to be really honest and open. There are times with these videos, I think, do I have anything to offer? Am I a being of support? Am I, because I am in it with you, because I know these spiritual tools. And sometimes, honestly, I am in my human experience and not practicing my own soul medicine. And that's my whole message, teaching people how to do that. So this last year, honestly, since we've had a shift in our political scene here. Now, I trust, I'm going off on a tangent, forgive me, but this is my channel and this is my truth. In my soul awareness, I recognize everything that's happening is happening for our higher evolving. We have to go through the chaos to get to the new creation of possibilities. But from the human experience as an empath, very hard to witness, very hard to feel into, feel the disruption of people's lives and the harm that's coming to so many people and the fear that we are present to, and this is, I'm going to get back to surrender. I almost did a video where I just was talking, and I think my soul wants to do that. So it's my theme is surrender, but I'm going to surrender that for a moment and talk about what's coming live right now. And that is the balance of soul having a human experience. I think, as Eckhart Tolle said here, which I loved, it does not mean passively putting up with whatever situation you find yourself in and do nothing about it. I think that we're all being called to do something. This is where, another spiritual principle is compassion. When you feel compassion, think about that compassion is a call to action, right? So we're not meant to do everything. We're meant to do the thing we're called to. But surrendering is actually the clarity of that, especially when there's overwhelm right now, when there's so much that our human eyes can't even comprehend. And we need to do something with that. And this is where surrender is a tool to lay down everything you're holding that's heavy and hard and you don't know what to do with, and you feel helpless and you feel like there's no way forward, or powerless. I was thinking about the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. To me, that's a surrender prayer. Show me what is I'm supposed to do. But to lay it down, and then to be open to be shown a new way. The reason I'm doing this video is I did a little short video. I'm trying to do shorts. Give me topic ideas for shorts, because that's something I need to do more of. I just never know what topics. So how do you practice surrender? I think what I find when there's a lot of intensity and we feel the pressure from the external world pressing down on our inner worlds, it can feel like people will just want to give up. I don't know what to do. Nothing I say matters. Especially with the political scene, right? I will admit I had a lot of conversations with people prior to the election, and I felt like nothing I said mattered. And that really felt disempowering. And that's where I had to say, I surrender this. I've done all I can do in my human form. And now I have to surrender and trust something's unfolding, emerging, evolving here beyond my human eyes, behind what I can see in this human body. I do trust that, but I'll tell you, it has been hard for me to practice some of my spiritual practices that I teach. I do believe, I just did a post on Instagram, I 1,000% believe whatever is happening on the external that we get triggered by or bothered by is first a call to do our inner work. Where is that connected? Where is that familiar? Is it shadow? Is it a wound that still needs healing? We need to do that work. And then we also need to be called to action. Now, how's this connected to my purpose, my contribution? But the inner work is vital. And I'll tell you, it used to be like I do inner work, and what I mean by inner work is what I just described. Where is this familiar? What am I telling myself about what's happening? What do I make it mean about me? Where's another time I felt this way? What did I need then? This is my tools. One of my tools I teach my clients. What did I need then that I didn't have capacity to get and nobody around me had capacity to give me? How do I facilitate myself in the present moment? That's a quick inroad to inner work, right? And it's exhausting. It's like on the daily, right? Oh, triggered. And I think, with so many triggers, yes, it's our inner work, but it's an alarm is going off. There's a huge alarm going off in the US, and we're going to be called to action. We are being called to action. We must do something. So I love that Eckhart Tolle does agree. It doesn't mean not do anything, right? So then, let's see, I love a couple other quotes. I'm just going to see if I want to read this one next in order. This is a quote from Ram Dass, which speaks more to the spiritual, the soul experience about surrender. Okay, so it is important to expect nothing. Hard one, right? I wanted to do a video or a post on Valentine's Day, and I may still do the post because I think Valentine's Day and other holidays like that set us up with expectation. When we have expectation, we have disappointment, right? Guaranteed. So let me start again. It is important to expect nothing, to take every experience, including the negative ones, as merely steps on a path, and to proceed. I love that, right? And as we grow in our consciousness, he says, there will be more compassion and more love. This is the higher vision we hold that I will admit has been hard for me to hold during these times. I'm really just being transparent. Because, I'm not going to put on a fake smile and, everything's going to be okay, everyone. All the positivity, toxic positivity. that cannot stand up during this. Yes, reach for things that lift you, bring you joy. It's important. Never surrender your joy. That is, your lifeboat through turbulent times. But knowing the difference, the human experience and the soul experience. And it's okay. I guess this is what I want to say. Give yourself grace for your human experience. I said on a recent video, I admitted I never used to swear. I swear now, okay? Because there's no other word that applies sometimes. I remember I was in at Agape years ago, and Marianne Williamson was doing the lecture, or she was doing the sermon. It was a Sunday church gathering. And she's up there sharing, and she is really getting passionate about something, and she drops the F-bomb, and she was like, oh, and she pauses and she said, I'm so sorry, this is a sacred space, or something like that. But sometimes there's just no other word. And we all just burst out in laughter because it's true. I'm finding there's no other word than that word lately. And it's okay, because that was a part of me in shadow. I would suppress that level of anger, that level of not okay. So notice that as you're navigating what new thing is showing up, because I also believe that surrender is important when we're fighting what's new wants to emerge, when we're still in old patterns, old beliefs, old ways of being. Like, I don't swear. Like, what belief is that? I don't swear because I don't want to offend anybody. That's my old people pleaser. No, sit down, people pleaser. There's a new me emerging here. So surrender is necessary. And this is what I talked about in my short, that if you're frustrated or irritated or just feeling like I don't know how to proceed here, that is, I believe, the conflict between the old way of being sort of overshadowing the new way of emerging, the new way of being that's wanting to emerge. The more evolved you, the more emerging the you that can navigate what is differently. And differently is the key word. I was talking to a friend just a few minutes ago, and she kept saying something that I think is so relevant right now. She said, I don't feel like myself. Right. In my human experience, 1,000%, I don't feel like myself. And I imagine most of you don't feel like yourselves, and we shouldn't feel like ourselves, because we're emerging something new. So there's this period of, I don't know who I am anymore, and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to proceed. And this is where a surrender is most helpful. I surrender all, show me the way, and emerge the me, the empowered me that knows how to navigate this. Because the old patterns, the old way is not going to work with where we're going. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Whew. Okay. That felt important. Please do comment below with anything you take away. I love when people reflect back quotes or something I share, or also where it really lands for you and helps you. That's the whole point of these videos, that I fight with myself almost every time I do a video. Why? I was going to call it a confession video, a get real video. And I'll just be real here in this video. I surrender every time I do a video. I surrender twice. I feel the call to do the video. I must surrender, get out of my old story, my old way, my fear of being seen in a way that I don't know how you're going to see me, but maybe where I'm seeing myself through judgment, and maybe some people will see me through judgment. And I do the video, and I do one take. That's just my thing. I always say we don't do retakes in real time. We have a conversation. I'm just talking to you in real time. If I make a mistake, I would make a mistake if we were talking live, and I'd say, okay, keep going. And that's also a big message. I kind of took this from my husband. I think I heard Reverend Michael speak about it too, but the keep going principle. Keep going and keep growing. So if I make a mistake here, I'm going to keep going and I'm going to grow, right? So then the second surrender is I have the video done and I upload it to YouTube, and then I have to click public. And I have to surrender that too. I have to surrender. So surrender is a powerful tool for getting out of our human way, telling the ego to sit down. My soul wants to emerge something here that's new and different. And you will be shown the way. It's just a wonderful, powerful practice. So then I have this quote from Reverend Michael Beckwith, which is so powerful. Love him. So grateful that I got to learn from him directly. Living the surrendered life is not being, oh, wait, hold on. Oh, here, okay. He's such a wordsmith too. Like, just like, what are you saying here? Because every word is so potent. So living the surrendered life is not being centric, but rather growth centric. Do you get the difference? So a surrender allows us to, ego's like more and more, get this, do this, have this. Soul and being is, I'm willing to grow through this. I trust that this, all that this is, whether it's in your personal life with whatever challenges you're growing through or off, what's the word I'm looking for? Like being redirected, things falling apart, relationships challenged, uncertainty, all of that. The ego comes in with the fear story, the limiting story, right? And that is the perfect place to surrender and say, I'm willing to grow through this and to trust. And maybe this may be a leap for some, but when I can pull myself to this, I call it the sacred view, the soul view of my soul, not the I, the ego, my soul chose this experience for me. For such a time as this, we are here. We are here in whatever circumstances we are to unlearn, to heal, to grow, to expand, to evolve to the next possibilities for ourselves individually and for us collectively. Okay, that's what I wanted to say about surrender. So now I surrender this video to you. May it be of support to you. Comment, let me know where you're viewing. Go to my website to review or to request a 20-minute free consultation or a personal session for you because you're worth it. Also, I am starting on March 20th what I'm calling Soul Circles. This is just a way for me to contribute to what is going on right now, to wrap my arms around you and to have this sacred time together, to be with what is, to evolve what is possible through each and every one of us for the collective unfolding. So please go to the website and sign up or get on the wait list for that if you're interested. We're starting on March 20th. Okay. Peace be with you, my soul friends. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Every day I feel you. And some days, like yesterday, I could do nothing but just cry. Not all day, but I let myself feel. And please do let yourself feel. We are in very turbulent, soul-stirring times. Tears are cleansing. They're revealing what needs to be healed and what needs to be developed to contribute for where we're going, how we're growing. All right. Again, peace be with you. Thanks for being with me. I do appreciate you and your precious time. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.